Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a Metal Gear Solid 5 analysis. Today I'll be analyzing the DD Wolf cutscene shown during TGS 2014. Keep in mind that this is going to be a fairly short analysis since the cutscene is pretty straightforward. Anyways, without further ado, let's dive right into it. The first thing that instantly caught my attention is the fact that a seemingly random stray puppy found in the African jungle got an entire cutscene for himself. The only reason I can think of for the puppy being featured in a cutscene is that it has some significance in the game beyond being a generic AI companion. This has me thinking that all support buddies in this game will each have something significant to contribute to the story, even if optionally. In other words, I believe that there won't be any support buddies who are just throwaway generic characters, and I don't believe players will be able to just recruit any animal or individual they meet as a support buddy. I get the feeling that each support buddy will have a name and a face, and that they were each handpicked by Hideo Kojima and his team. Think of my theory for support buddies as parties in a JRPG. In those types of games, players don't get to pick who comes along for your adventure. Most JRPGs predetermine that for you, with new members joining as the story progresses, and each of these party members have a name, a face, a personality, a story, and something unique to contribute to the party. Now, even if players can't choose who joins the party, they can choose which members of the party they prefer to take with them into battle, and in some cases, which members they would like to get to know better. I get the feeling that Phantom Pain will employ something similar. I personally hope this is the case, since it would make each support buddy feel more substantial. I'd rather have a few companions that I care about rather than a bunch of generic AIs, quality over quantity. I also think it would open up a lot of opportunities for character development. Now, for those who are not interested in the support buddy system, Kojima did confirm that it was optional, so players can play the entire game solo if they so desire. Anyways, after Big Boss gets off the chopper, he is greeted by DD, which is short for Diamond Dog. Apart from having its own cutscene, the fact that this puppy has a name also seems to be indication that it's not just some generic animal character, but rather a unique and significant companion who is in it for the long haul, a party member, if you will. Ocelot proceeds by stating that he doesn't know its breed, and it's hard for me to say as well since we don't know exactly what region of Africa Snake rescued this puppy from. It looks a lot like a gray wolf in my eyes, but based on my research, there aren't many of those in Africa, and wolves that do live in Africa normally reside in North Africa, so countries like Egypt, Libya, and Ethiopia. I'm no animal expert though, so if any of you have a more educated insight to share, I would love to hear them. Ocelot then offers to raise DD for Big Boss until it is combat ready. For those wondering about DD's gender, he does seem to be a male based on the fact that Ocelot and Big Boss both refer to DD as a he.
He's still a pup, so he doesn't listen. I have a feeling someday he'll be useful.
We are then shown passage of time as Ocelot trains the wolf. The cutscene goes from Wednesday in the morning to Saturday noon, so a little over 3 days. Perhaps that's how much in-game time it will take to fully raise and train an animal until it's combat ready. Yeah, it makes no sense that the puppy got so big in just 3 days, or that the wild animal was trained in such a short amount of time, but hey, it's a game. I don't think anyone would actually want to wait months of in-game time for a support buddy. With DD ready for action, he proceeds by getting into the chopper. I would like to direct your attention to just how immaculate the animation for the animal is. Hideo Kojima likely motion captured a trained dog to achieve such realistic and accurate movement. The same goes for the puppy. DD truly feels alive thanks to the capabilities of the Fox engine. It's very impressive stuff. Something else I would like to talk about is the chopper in this particular footage. If we compare this one to the one found in the E3 2014 trailer, you may notice a number of differences. One minor difference found on the chopper in this latest footage is that the attachment at the top doesn't have that red sideways V anymore, and the front end is now covered by some kind of vent. The biggest difference is this device attached near the back of the chopper, which was not present in previous footage. I'm not an expert on military-grade vehicles, so I can't say for sure what it is, but to me it looks like it could be some kind of missile launcher. I could be wrong though. If you have any better ideas, let us know in the comments below. Regardless of what it is, it seems to me as though the chopper in this latest footage is a slightly upgraded version of the ones we have seen before. Same model, but upgraded. This could be our first glimpse of chopper customization, a feature that Kojima has confirmed for Phantom Pain, but hasn't shown off yet. I can't think of any other reason why this chopper looks slightly upgraded, except that these new additions were made by the player of this particular playthrough. The Gatling gun near the door is also likely an upgrade for the chopper, which players must obtain through R&D and by spending GMP. Hopefully players will also get to customize Chopper's color schemes and some aspects of their designs. We are then shown a nice little side-by-side of Big Boss and DD with matching eye patches. Not gonna lie, an eye patch on a wolf seems a bit ridiculous to me, but this is Metal Gear we're talking about. One interesting prospect about the eye patch is that it could just be some kind of customization feature. Perhaps the game will allow players to customize support buddies with outfits and accessories. Then again, the eye patch could just be part of DD's default appearance. He did lose his right eye after all, but support buddy customization seems too good to pass up. What are your thoughts? And thus, the cutscene concludes with Big Boss taking off with his new companion. Something that I'm curious about is what DD's abilities are. Kojima did hint in an interview that DD's abilities are completely different from Quiet's, and that eventually he will develop the ability to use his canine sense of smell to aid players, but apart from that, we know nothing else. If I had to guess, I would say that another one of DD's abilities is being able to pin down targets and even kill them outright. He is a wolf after all, a predator by nature. It'll be interesting to see which animals and characters will be featured as support buddies and what each will contribute in the field. And with that, I would like to conclude this analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Up next is the African Jungle gameplay analysis, which may take some time due to its length, but I'll try to get it out for you guys as soon as possible. In the meantime, let our nation know in the comments below your thoughts on some of my theories and if there is anything that I missed. And to be further updated on Metal Gear Solid 5, be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Gear. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. And Young out.